Hello, this is Easy Coding for Beginners by Amar Makani. Let's begin. The problem that I'd like to solve for this assignment is to make coding easier to understand for beginners. The reason why I chose this was to solve a problem that would help us as engineers, but also for anybody that's getting into coding. I wanted to make it a universal problem that would help a lot of people, not just us engineers. And uh, the problem with coding for me and for many others is sometimes it just doesn't explain it to you all too well within the long textbook definitions. Nobody's trying to read or go through 700 pages of a textbook and read and look through all of the definitions and terms that are in high advanced vocab, or even the author that wrote it, doctorate level vocab over certain lines of code. It's just very hard to stay connected to it or stay uh, put your attention to it, or even learn it at all sometimes. What I see out now that tries to solve this problem and some of the downsides to it to making coding easier for beginners is that they still try to give textbook definitions and are pretty lengthy when it comes to the amount of pages it has. They don't make it any easier to understand at all. They don't make it simple. Uh, Myself and many others don't want to read for several minutes on 10 or more pages to solve whatever is needed to be solved for the code for their assignment or whatever they're doing. Uh, everybody likes things to be quick and easy, and with our span of attention in today's society, it's very short, and most products that are out, it takes several minutes or even longer to find what you need. Wouldn't it be all easier if it was just within a minute or two, within a page or two, just to find? And my solution is to create a 15-page or less booklet on how to code in layman's terms or simpleton terms. And the problem, and the programming language that I would be focusing on my solution to this problem would be to program in C. This is because this is the first language I'm currently learning, and from what I've learned and from what I've heard, it lays foundations on how to code in other languages. And I've seen this with Arduino. Some of the same functions, not all of them, not 100% of the language of C is relatable to Arduino or any other code, but a lot of it does have similarities to one another, such as Arduino or even Python. And the booklet would provide coding book vocab to show what a certain line of code means for a certain term or function. For example, that would be /n means create a new line, or %f means a specifier for floating types. The vocab and simpleton terms used to explain all the coding and the functions and programs that it puts out would make it easier to learn to code than what we currently have to learn to code in. The booklet would provide examples of actual code and show how certain codes work with one another into the programs. An example of that could be how to use switch and case statements in C. It needs to help students and the readers also find whatever they're looking for within the book easier than what it would be looking through the textbook, through the table of contents, or on the internet just typing it on Google. Because sometimes it takes a while to find it on the internet if you're looking it up on the internet. Sometimes you have to go through multiple different websites to find what you're looking for, and sometimes you don't find it at all because it's hard to find how to code on the internet. But yeah, my conclusion: there are some constraints in making this for myself. As of right now, I don't have all of the coding terms and functions learned that I need to have learned because I don't know all of C yet. I'm still a beginner at it, and another constraint is it would be very hard to fit how to program in C into 15 pages or less. I understand that, but if it were to be able to be done, it would make coding much easier for myself and for many others that are just getting into learning how to code. Future work can be done on this booklet to make it smaller, but that's if it's not 15 pages or less, if it's more than 15 pages, it needs to be 15 pages later in the future. But because it is a restriction of having it at 15 pages or less, because that's a lot of information going into a very small amount of pages. And another part of the future work that I could do is converting the book format for other programming languages such as Python, C++, MATLAB, and many others that are out there. And yeah, that's my assignment, and that's my show. Thank you.